First of all, obviously you're a Chelsea legend and things like that, so I presume you watched their game against Manchester United on Saturday. Obviously, probably a bit disappointed to not get the 3 points. But what do you feel? Do you feel it was a lack of concentration at the end there, or just Man United bombarded them and they couldn't quite hold out?
Well, I guess we're going to say that Manchester United didn't give up and they maybe deserved the draw. I don't think Chelsea did everything to win that game. So I wasn't disappointed. Was disappointed only because after scoring at the 88 minutes or 87th minute, you expect them to win. But I think a draw is just fair because of the game that I watched. And I think Chelsea didn't put all ingredients needed to make sure they're going to get the 3 points. So there shouldn't be any regrets in whatsoever because, again, they didn't do everything to win that game.
It's true. So Chelsea have scored 16 goals, conceded 11. What do you think Chelsea where do they need to improve to pick up more points at this point?
Well, that's always been the same question for the past 3 years where they couldn't find somebody to score, or when they had somebody like Lukaku or now maybe Aubameyang, they didn't serve them in the proper way because the football that they play is more on the horizontal passes and keeping the possession of the ball instead of trying to score, I would say, goals very quickly, like Liverpool can do so and did last week with Nunez. So it's very difficult with Rich James and Chilwell. You would thought crosses would come over and it would serve like season. Lukaku, but they both got injured. This season, Rich James again injured, and it's like Aubameyang is not still the type of striker that they had last season with Lukaku. So I think there is something to put out in order to find the right solution to score goals. Right now, even if it's getting better with Potter, where they are more vertical than they used to be with Tuchel, that they're not looking for scoring goals. It's like they're looking for keeping the possession of the ball. And that's in the frame of mind of all players where I want to make sure I don't lose the ball. Even if it's a stupid, silly 3 yards passes, well, at least the statistic will say that I didn't miss the pass and I don't want to take any risk. That's the main concern for me that I have when I see Chelsea, is that there isn't too many players who are taking the risk of missing a pass and being more vertical and really more forward. And I don't see that. I think everything is calculated and too much calculated. And football is a game of intuition and tries in order to get something special to surprise the defense.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And changing tack slightly, Cristiano Ronaldo, not even on the bench for Manchester United. Do you think his days at United are over? And if so, do you think Chelsea should make a move to sign him, like Todd Bowley has been intimating?
Well, I thought it would have been a good idea when Todd Bowley had that in mind in July, and I was sure that Tuchel will deny it because he had Mbappe and Neymar as mega stars in Paris Saint-Germain. I think he didn't want to live that kind of experience again. So I was sure that he would say no. I really thought, it would have been very good for the club because when you have Ronaldo, you're talking worldwide in terms of everything. In terms of football, I don't know. With all due respect for the big legend that he is, because he's a fantastic player and he's been a fantastic player. I don't know. Life is like that, you're young, you give your best, you're excellent, you're getting what you want to get, and suddenly, the time passed, and you get older, and it's time to retire. And I always say to retire is part of your career. When do you retire? Make sure it's not too late, and you don't give pity to people. Yeah. I would have thought last year with Messi that it was the end of it in Paris Saint-Germain, and Messi is showing that it's not. So I hope for football and for Ronaldo himself that it's not the end of Ronaldo, and hopefully he's going to find a club which player is going to find him, and he's going to shoot very well, and he's going to score many goals again. I have doubts about that, but I don't want to say it's an end forever, and that it's over. He should retire. So yes, Chelsea would need a player like that for sure, but not now having Aubameyang. What is the point to buy another player? What's going to be the state of him or Broja if Ronaldo comes? That's saying, they don't want us. So psychologically, you have to be careful what you do with the dressing room.
Well, that's it, because obviously the way it's going at Manchester United, he seems to be undermining the manager. You worried the same thing could happen at Chelsea if he comes. He becomes the biggest personality, bigger than the manager potentially. So,
that's the main problem, and I think Ten Hag did well. He was patient. I mean, when they had the problem already, when they left, when they played Villarreal, I think in a friendly, him and Ronaldo and Dalot left before the end of the game, which is completely disrespectful towards the club, the fans, and of course their teammates. It's also unprofessional, and it happened again last time against Newcastle. Against it wasn't Newcastle. It was Tottenham. I think you cannot do that, and he knows exactly what he was doing. He knows exactly what he did, and that the fact that he wanted to show to the world that he was unhappy, like when he went out against Newcastle, nodding his head, like saying, "What the hell is going on? Yeah. Why that guy is getting me out, me Ronaldo? We know you're ledge. We know that you're not happy to get out, and like every player in the world, I know that maybe you don't deserve to get out because you are Ronaldo, but the Ten Hag doesn't do that to humiliate Ronaldo. He does that because he thinks that's the best for the club. So you should understand. And again, I always think about the guy who comes in. If you have that kind of mind or state of mind when you do that, it's showing that you don't have respect for the player who comes in because you think he's not as good as you. Which is maybe true, but you shouldn't do that.
Never
so I agree with Ten Hag. Ten Hag has to, Ronaldo has to pay the consequences of his acts and should be punished for that, even if he's Ronaldo. Only the fans of Ronaldo won't agree with me, but if you love football and you respect football, you have to accept the fact that what he did was completely disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree entirely. So back to Chelsea. Who has been your standout performer for Chelsea so far this season?
I have to point Thiago Silva. I mean, the guy is amazing. He's even better when he was in Paris Saint-Germain.
He's amazing. 38 years old, and still like a old voice.
I mean, everything he does. Sometimes I look at him and say, well, he lost a little bit of pace, but he compensates with his mind because he's a very smart person and I understand how to cope with the situation. He's tough defensively. He's never been that tough when he was in Paris Saint-Germain. He knows he plays in Premier League. He doesn't play in Liga, and so he has to be strong. Otherwise, he's going to be punished because the referees won't give him fouls, like we saw with goalkeepers, like we saw this weekend with Lloris and Wilson and Tottenham Newcastle.
Yeah.
Referees have the tendency to ref differently than the rest of the world. It's why you have no ref. It's why you have no English ref in the World Cup. Yeah, it's amazing. I have to add Mason Mount for a couple of games that he's been absolutely outstanding, and I'm very proud of the young guy because I know that he, like me, and even more, maybe he cheers the club like crazy because he comes from the academy and is really a top guy. And you have to add Kepa since he's been on goals, decided from Potter. The guy is there and was the man of the match almost every game that he played on.
Yeah, I mean, incredible saves against Aston Villa.
Yeah. Oh my God, against Aston Villa, but even against was that Brentford? Against Brentford, he did very, very well.
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised because I'm very fond of Mendy. I love Mendy. He's a fantastic player, but it's true that he had some doubts, especially with the ball in his feet lately, and he has to recover that. that confidence back. But the problem is if Kepa keeps on playing like that, no way Mendy can go back.
No.
So he will have to find another club very quickly. Well, it won't be a problem for the World Cup for him. And for me, because I put Senegal off one of the contender, but really, I think for him and for his best, if Kepa keeps on playing like that, he will have to ask for leaving, because many clubs going to hire Mendy, no doubt, and I think Chelsea is going to make a huge profit, but it's going to be a waste for everybody to keep Mendy on the bench if he hasn't got any room in the net.
No, he won't be happy with that, definitely. So with January transfer window not too far away, obviously the World Cup first, then the transfer window, can you see Chelsea breaking the bank for a star player? And if so, what area of the team should they look to strengthen?
Except the forward line that we talked about, and maybe the striker, or I don't know who could be in front line who can help the club. At some point, some people, when Mbappe said he doesn't want to stay to Paris Saint-Germain, after he said he's never said that, I thought, okay, Chelsea, buy him.
Yeah, I mean,
buy him.
Would be an incredible signing.
And you can deal with the price, because if he doesn't want to stay, you can say, okay, we give 100 million for Mbappe, because nobody else is gonna buy him. People say Real Madrid, but where is going to play in Real Madrid? Benzema is in place, Vinicius Junior on the right left side, and Rodrigo on the right side. You're not going to move them; they're on fire. So, and I think Real Madrid fans would have been very unhappy if 2 months, 3 months after he comes to Real after denying their offer. So I thought it would have been a good idea. But otherwise, the only position for me that I would try to find somebody is where Kante plays, because Kante is not going to come back before 4 months. Jorginho is a great player, but not defensively, and it's been a lack of somebody very strong as a midfield player. I love Kovacic, and he does his job, but he needs a partner.
Yeah.
If you have Kovacic and Kante, it works. If you have Kante and Jorginho, it can work, because Kante as his best is unbelievable. But when you have Kovacic and Jorginho, it's not enough. For me, it's not enough. So a good Declan Rice will be very, very interesting. If Kante takes a long time to come back, or if he goes to Real Madrid, as maybe it's possible, I would go for Declan Rice. I mean, you get the boy back to his place.
Yeah. Well, he's great friends with Mason Mount as well, isn't he? So they could fit together quite well there, maybe.
Oh my God! I mean, I got goosebumps, thinking of that, because they are the guys from the academy. It's what I love. We talked about Manchester United. I think the guys are missing the point. They want to buy stars, where the big Manchester United, it was the guys from the academy, all the guys from the academy. It started with the Neville brothers, but Beckham and all others, who came and served. Yeah, exactly. Who served the club. Yeah. Chelsea is the biggest figure of Chelsea is John Terry. John Terry, started at West Ham, but is a Chelsea guy, really a Chelsea guy playing for the academy. Mason Mount is from Chelsea. Declan Rice belongs to Chelsea. Gallagher, we think with Gallagher, they are guys who have to play for the club, because it shows to the club that they have structure, they have basics. That's and right. Good basics are the basics of a successful club. We see that with Real Madrid, with all the young players who play for Real Madrid, and we see that, and it will work for Chelsea for sure. Yeah,
it connects the players to the team as well. The fans to the team, in that they see the players come through the ranks and then more connected that way. One person we haven't mentioned, Raheem Sterling. Have you been impressed with Sterling so far, or do you think he's got a lot more to show? So
Sterling does some Sterling. The Sterling that I know, I ever known, since he played for Liverpool, where the guy, he has the pace and he can be a genius at certain points, and so clumsy at other points, and it can happen. He worked very well when he signed, and because I said that I had doubts that he would change anything for the forward line, and I started to have doubts when he started and scoring goals and goals and goals. I said, okay, I missed the point and all. But now it's showing that I'm right, in fact, in a way that he's a good player. He's a great player. Nothing to do. He's belongs to the national team, and he has obviously talents. But the consistency is what we are looking for in terms of football. It's why I'm looking for. When I talked about Thiago Silva, we are talking about consistency. When we talk about Erling Haaland, we are talking like crazy consistency.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking for Chelsea. For Chelsea, I'm talking about somebody where every game you don't see him disappearing for like half an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You see somebody always in a shape, always really in a situation where at some point something's gonna happen from him. That's what you see from those players that I mentioned, like you see with Salah no, not Salah, Saka at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Saka, when he gets the ball, you feel something's going to happen.
Yeah, he drives at the defenders, isn't he?
He tries something, He drives something special. And I like with Martinelli what he does. Gabriel Jesus, every time he has the ball, something happens. It's why Arsenal is there first.
That's true.
Because the front line, on top of Odegaard, serving them perfectly, you have three guys who can put dangers anytime. It's what I'm looking for at Chelsea. I don't find right now.
Yeah, it's not there at the moment, but Potter's obviously trying to put it together.
Obviously.
Gabriel Bonlahor. Remember Gabriel Bonlahor? He criticised Koulibaly Koulibaly and said he looks dreadful and teams have looked to target him if he plays. Do you agree with that, or do you think there's more to come from him?
I understand the debates, and I think the goal that he scored at the first game at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge maybe didn't serve him. But like most players, when they sign for a new club after playing a long time in another club, they have to adjust and they have to adapt. And I didn't need that. The effect was immediate, and I was very pleased with that. But I had the question marks as well about that and my performances when I started with Chelsea. We can feel that he's not the Koulibaly we used to see when he played for Napoli, but you don't lose your talent like that. It's just that he has to adjust and to the Premier League to make him to prepare himself bigger and stronger that he is playing right now. But he has all the physics for that, and I have no doubt that he's gonna be good. I wouldn't say that he's dreadful, never. But again, it's not the Koulibaly that we used to see. Now, there is always talks from other clubs, and I know Rio Ferdinand talked about me because we're going to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold, I know. And he was saying that they were talking about me that with the ball I could serve and very well my teammates, but that defensively there was a discussion about that. Yeah, okay, no problem. But I compensated with something else, and I had friends who could help me out. Of course, I wasn't the greatest defender and far away from Rio Ferdinand's talent, but I had something else that I could put on and something that you need. Right now, on top of not being strong enough, Koulibaly, when he has the ball, because he feels that he's not 100%, he doesn't take any risk. So he makes very short passes to Thiago Silva or Chilwell or somebody else when he plays. And we don't see the Koulibaly that we have seen before. But I want to be optimistic for him because I always thought he would fit well at Chelsea. And I'm pretty sure very soon, and the sooner the better, he's gonna be the Koulibaly that we used to see when he played for Napoli.
And where do you see Chelsea finishing this season overall? How do you see it progressing for them?
In the top four, that has to be the goal of and the challenge that the players and Mr. Potter have to get, because it would be a disgrace to not finish in the first four. They have the team for that. I think City is going to be the champion. Yeah. And then it would be, I don't know, Liverpool. Like 3 days ago, I would have said that they were going to finish in the first four, but losing against Nottingham Forest made me think that it might be enough season for them. But let's say that Chelsea, Tottenham, and Newcastle.
Yesterday's result was good for them, wasn't it? Beating Tottenham away. Very good.
You know what I love about Newcastle? because I know the city. My friend David Ginola played there, and I went there many times.
Yeah.
That's the city of football. And the players and the club right now really represent what the city is. Hard work, passion, and power. That's what it is. And I love it. I love what I see. I love that. Of course, they're not the best player in the world, but they try to get something which make them very hard to beat. And we saw that yesterday against, some days ago against Spurs. So I don't know if they're going to keep on working like that, because Tottenham, I mean, I don't, it's crazy, because if Kane and Son are not in good shape, they don't win.
No, that's right.
They don't win.
Right, yeah.
So Arsenal, I don't see them being champion, because I think they were lucky that in the middle of the week they didn't play against Manchester City after Manchester City lost against Liverpool, because I think they could have been punished bad time, and it would have been maybe a big break. Yeah, it could have been a big break for them. But I wish them the best, and I don't really care. I'm not a fan of any club. I love Chelsea because I played for, but I can be very hard and severe with the club if they're not performing well. But I don't think Arsenal is going to win the title. I think Manchester is going to do the so again. But Chelsea has to finish in the first four.
Top four. Speaking of Arsenal there, William Saliba, someone who's impressed a lot of people this season. You think he's got a chance to make it into the France squad for the World Cup?
Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah. The guy, since he played for Marseille last year, went to 2 or 3 other levels comparing to before. And I love the fact that the fans understood that, and he came back, and it was a real debate for the coach whether he would be back or not. I think in Marseille they're still crying on him leaving the club, but that's a very wise decision for the club, for the coach, and obviously for Saliba. Because Premier League is different than the Liga. You have to be French and blind to not admit it. But I'm French, but I'm not blind. And of course, it's better for Saliba to be in the Premier League and to play in the Premier League. And what he does right now is amazing. I mean, he stabilized the central defense. But you have to hide the fact that White on the right side does the job. Nobody would have thought that the pair Saka and White will work well, but they do very, very well. So it's a little bit of something where Saliba found his place, but you can find that even Xhaka became a worldwide player. He was a Swiss player having trouble with Gunners fans, and he's a playmaker. Technically, tactically, physically, the guy is the heart of the Gunners right now. Yes. So it goes well with everybody, and Saliba takes the profit of everything on top of giving his talent to serving with his talent the club.
He does.
He can be in the national team. He will go with the national team.
Yeah, maybe starting or just on the bench, do you think?
Well, I guess Varane's not going to come.
That's the.
And if you check all the players, Kimpembe is injured, Varane is injured. Yes, you have other strikers, central defender who can play, but right now the more consistent of every central defender that we have in disposal is William Saliba. Yeah. So for sure. Right now, if the World Cup is tomorrow, William Saliba is the only central defender who should be in position.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And someone else who is looking at the World Cup, hopefully, is Anthony Martial. Do you think he's going to make it? And if so, or even should he be looking further ahead, thinking, should I leave Manchester United in January, seeing that he's not getting many chances?
I don't think he's going to be. He's not playing enough. Unless you have so many players injured. But when you see what some players are doing at France with Giroud, Griezmann is back to his best, Mbappe, obviously. I don't know if Coman is going to come back, but you have also Nkunku doing so great. You have another player who plays for Frankfurt. I forgot his name. Colo, whatever his name, is fantastic. He's really great for Frankfurt. So Martial is not playing enough. He should have left the club last summer. He didn't, for the reason that I don't know. But definitely his future is not there. He's not there anymore. He's not going to play. Right now it's Rashford. If it's not Rashford, it's Ronaldo. Well, we'll see. Maybe in Europa Cup he's going to play Martial because he needs to rest a little bit Rashford. And if he decides to punish Ronaldo, Martial is going to play. But it's only because Ronaldo is going to be punished. So there is no future for him.
Yeah, I agree. Someone else who's been criticised defensively rather than attackingly is Trent Alexander-Arnold, as you mentioned. Do you feel like he's improved recently, or he's still struggling to reach those heights? Championship.
Why would he?
I don't know.
Why would have him improved in that matter in 1 month? It's in genes. You have to find something else. I want to go back to why supposedly I said that it's a championship level.
Mm-hmm.
First, I say worse. I said not even a championship level, but it's not what I said, and I'm very upset with the English media, who took half of the sentence that I said. I said exactly that Trent Alexander-Arnold, I love the guy. I love his spirit. I love his mentality. I love what he can bring offensively. Because if you have to criticize what he does defensively, you have to point what he can bring offensively. And that's because of his fullback position, only defensive aspect of his game. Before, when you are right back or left back, your first function was to defend well, which is not the case anymore. Mm-hmm. We see that, and we started to see that with Roberto Carlos, Marcelo, or Cafu in another era. But the thing is, again, I'm very upset with the English media because, I mean, you want to make a buzz. Yeah, I know you want to get the title. So, yeah, TAA is a championship level player. No, I never said that.
No.
I would never be disrespectful in that matter, especially me. And as Rio Ferdinand said, I wasn't a good defender, whatever you want to say. But that's not totally untrue what he said. I wasn't the best defender in the world, but I had more knowledge about defending that TAA has, because TAA has nothing. Mm-hmm. He knows nothing about defending because it's not his
priority,
his idea of his position, which is crazy. But that's what it is. I think Klopp has to help him out, either to work on that if you want to keep him in that position, or put him on a little bit more offensive with Gomez behind him or Milner behind him. Mm-hmm. But don't ask him to defend because he doesn't know. No, it's not part of his computer. His computer does like no. The computer of TAA says no. I'm not interested about that. I don't even know how to cope with that. What I know how to do is to give fantastic crosses or long range passes to the front line, and I'm going to serve you the best way because he's one of the best players in the world in that matter. So. Again, I'm very frustrated and happy for what I wrote when I read about him and coming from me because that's completely untrue. I love the guy. You know what? I love the spirit of the guy. It makes me when he won the Roland Garros, and I'm friends with Yannick, and I love that. And I've been treated as a racist because I made some comment about TAA. Really? And I hate, I've been also death threats because of that, and I hate that because we know that social networks are crazy, especially if it's untrue. I would have said, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold is a bad defender. I would accept that, accept all the criticism about saying bad thing about a player, but I never said that. I explained the total picture that everybody can agree, even Rio Ferdinand. If Rio Ferdinand tells me that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a great defender, I really want to talk to Rio Ferdinand. But again, you have to take the whole picture. What do you need from a player, and you put in that position in a modern football? What do you need more from him? His passes or his defending? Now, if Klopp keeps on putting Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right side as a fullback, but a fullback who needs to defend, of course, all the teams who are going to play him or against him is going to use him because they know that the weakness is there. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Like they cope with the situation offensively because he's not the biggest strength come from Trent Alexander-Arnold at his best offensively.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Klopp obviously has that idea of the role for him, and he's not planning to change that anytime soon. But whether that means that Trent will miss out on the World Cup as a result will have to remain to be seen.
Let's say that the chance that Trent's going to be in the World Cup, maybe he was supposed to be a substitute because Reece James would have played. Now we don't know if Reece James is going to be back. So if he's not back, I think Gareth Southgate is going to play Trent Alexander-Arnold. But it worked for a couple of years. It worked for Liverpool because Anderson or Fabinho or Milner were covering Trent when he was going forward.
That's true.
And at the time, Van Dijk, before his injury, and Matip or Gomez were at their top. You know what I mean? So they compensated everything. Now they're not on the same level. Everybody has to look at themselves in the mirror, and it's not only, of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold fault. If Liverpool is not playing well, it's everybody. Everybody. We don't recognize Salah as well, except against Manchester City last game. Van Dijk was the Van Dijk we knew. Salah was the Salah we knew. Everybody was the players we knew. But when you lose against Nottingham Forest some days after, there are problems to solve for Mr. Klopp.
Definitely, yeah. I feel that Liverpool, we'll have to see how they progress from here on in, because they can't just turn up for the big games like the Man City game and then switch off again a week later. That's not how it's going to go.
That's not possible.
No, that's not the way for them. One other person that we didn't mention when we talked about centre backs for France and Chelsea, Wesley Fofana. Obviously, he's been injured, but I think he should be back relatively soon. Like, do you think how is he going to fit into Graham Potter's plans? Because obviously, he knows him, doesn't he, from his days at Brighton, and he's a good player. How do you rate him in comparison to Koulibaly and Thiago?
He's a fantastic player.
Sorry?
He's a fantastic player, and Fofana is a fantastic player, but I don't think he's not worth 85 million for sure. He's very young. He has to prove everything. What he did for Saint-Etienne and last year or the year before for Leicester was amazing. And I always say that the guy has a great future. And I said that when he was playing last year. And I said, for me, one of the best centre-backs that the Premier League has is Wesley Fofana. But you have to give the time for players to grow. He has a lack of experience. Oh my God! Of course, he has a lack of experience. He's young, so very young, and mistakes can happen because of that. But when you are alongside Thiago Silva, you have somebody who can compensate and teach him to make less mistakes. That's part of life. It's part of the life. When you learn something, you experience stuff, you make mistakes, and then you learn again, and then you get almost perfect. If it's possible for a human being to be perfect. But I think people have to be more patient. We live in a world of emergency dictators, what I call it. That everything has to be fantastic in 1 second. No, you have to build something. Potter comes and you want Chelsea to change. How come? It's not possible. It never happens that way. Yeah, you can have a reaction and sometimes, see player... coach coming and the team winning, yes, but Chelsea was not losing. They were boring. They were very horizontal. Nothing's gonna change for a while, and players are not gonna go for the World Cup. He's too young and it doesn't have the experience needed for World Cup. but it's not a big deal. He's going to play 3 or 4 World Cups in his career if he keeps on playing like he used to play for Leicester. But he has to trust his talent and work hard to get better. But he's a great player, and I think Chelsea is very fortunate to have that player. 85 million is maybe too heavy for a player like this. It was the same for Martial at Manchester United, 100 million.
Yeah.
Okay, first 2 games you get carried away by the experience and everything.
Yeah.
The hype, but after a while, it comes down, and then you have to face the reality of it. You're not ready for that amount, for the pressure that the media put on you, but you have to cope with the fans and the game. So, nice for them. I'm here to compensate.
Okay, I hope it goes well for him, and we'll see. But a couple quick questions just to finish, then just short answers if you want. Who's going to win the Champions League this season, in your view?
Wow, it's very open this season.
It is,
I think City, of course, can win.
Never managed to get over the line before, though, have they? So they haven't got the experience that Real Madrid have got, obviously, but they've got the quality.
I don't know for Real Madrid. I mean, Real Madrid have been so lucky last season.
Yeah.
Lucky is too easy. It's too easy to say because they had a fantastic spirit and stamina to achieve what they achieved. But from far, they weren't the best team. That's for sure. When I saw all the return games against City, against Chelsea, against Paris Saint-Germain, you say, oh my God, how did they manage to go and win the Champions League final? Unbelievable. Yeah. Whatever.
Crazy game.
They did it. And well done, Courtois, Benzema, and Vinicius Junior, and Casemiro. I see City. I see Real Madrid is going to be complicated. Bayern Munich, maybe. And that's it. Paris Saint-Germain. If they're all in a good frame of mind, Paris Saint-Germain can do something for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they're going to be in February. I don't know what's going to happen with the World Cup. Who's going to win the World Cup? I think it's going to define many things. If Brazil win the World Cup, what would be Neymar's state of mind? You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah. He's probably not going to be as focused as he was, is he?
You might not see him again. It's a carnival just after. You don't know. But the thing is, I don't know. There is the World Cup now, and let's see what's going to happen in January next year before saying that City or somebody else can win the Champions League.
Yeah, fair. And speaking of the World Cup, England, we obviously want to know your views on England's chances. Can you see us getting very far, or do you think it's going to be a disappointing tournament for England?
I always wish the best for England because I have many friends there, and I know they cheer like crazy for England. And I think, don't forget that football was created in England, and that you have to respect that. And I felt that when the first time I put a foot at Wembley, where you can feel that you are in a very, very special location. Yeah. And do you still me? Do you still see me? Yeah, sorry. Somebody calling me.
That's okay.
Cool. Oh, you see me. Okay.
Yeah, we're looking.
The World Cup. All the players are in position to win the World Cup. The problem with England is I feel that clubs are more important for the player than national team, and the rivalry between clubs are putting players in certain state of frame of mind where you still feel that if you're a Liverpool player it's hard to cope with the Manchester United player. If you're an Arsenal player, it's hard to cope with the Tottenham player.
Yeah.
And all the fans agree with that because they feel the same. So how you cheer up a national team if you're all separated by the love of your clubs, which at the same time is understandable. And I love that you love the club like crazy. But in any other countries, that doesn't exist. You play for Dortmund or you play for Munich, but you stick together for Germany.
Yeah.
In
So,
Italy, it's the same.
more,
They're not qualified.
They're unified.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. And that, you feel that even when you watch them, you feel that they don't play together because maybe of that. It's my feeling.
I think, there isn't definitely an element of that.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right. Well, I mean, hopefully they can fix that, but there's not much time, is there, before the World Cup starts? But,
No. But other teams are in danger, France. Too many injuries. They didn't play well. So let's see. I think Brazil is too strong for everybody. For me right now. I've never seen a team so complete when you see all the lines everywhere. Before in the 70s, you say, okay, Brazil is good, but they have no goalkeepers. I think they have the 2 best goalkeepers in the world. Yeah. I don't even talk about the front line. The defense are there with Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, and others. In the middle of the park, you have Casemiro. Casemiro, he changed Manchester United by himself. Yeah. The last 2 games. He's the man. So it's going to be hard to cope with Brazil, I think, next World Cup. Do
you think Gabriel Martinelli can get in the squad? Would he be a good addition, or is he still got a way to go yet?
It will. I wish him to be in the squad because you have 26 players, I think, allowed. Yeah. So it's possible. But he playing the same position of Vinicius Junior. Yeah. We won the Liga, won the Champions League. His name one of the best player forward, because I always like to say players because he doesn't play the same line, whatever. But one of the best players in this position comparing to Martinelli. If I'm the coach, I play Vinicius Junior as well, and it's just fair. Because Martinelli has grown up like crazy as well for the past 2 years. He deserves to be in the squad, yeah.